Yes, good afternoon, students. Who is going to give self-learning seminar today? Anushka,
Roll number 24, sir.
you can share your slide. Wait for few minutes. Other students may join within 3 minutes. By the time you can share your slide.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you. Shall I start, sir?
Just wait for 2-3 minutes.
Okay, sir.
At 3:15, you can mark your attendance and stay back here. Okay, Samiksha, you may start.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, friends. My name is Dahe Samiksha. My roll number is 24, and my friends are Yashwant, Ashutosh, Mrudula, Kalyani, and Pranay. Today we are going to give presentation on the topic software architecture and component based software architecture, and our guide is Barbin sir. So first of all, we will see the introduction of software architecture. The architecture is concerned with the selection of architectural elements, their interactions, and the constraints on those elements and their interactions necessary to provide a framework in which to satisfy the requirements and serve as a basis for the design. The software architecture fundamentally splits the general structure of the system in subsystems and their interfaces from the internal particular of the distinct subsystem. The architecture of a system describes its major components, their relationships, and how they interact with each other. Software architecture and design includes several contributory factors such as business strategy, quality attributes, human dynamics, design, and IT environment. A situation in which the system has the desired combination of quality attributes, for example, of usability and performance or reliability, shows the success of architecture and the quality of software. These are the components which are interact with each other through the in the software architecture. They are the quality attribute, IT environment, human dynamics, business strategies, and the design. We can segregate software architecture and design into two distinct phases: software architecture and software design. In architecture, non-functional decisions are cast and separated by the functional requirements. In design, functional requirements are accomplished. The software architecture of a program or computing system in the structure or structures of the system which comprise software elements, the externally visible properties of those elements and the relationships among them. Architecture serves as a blueprint of a system. It provides an abstraction to manage the system complexity and establish a communication or coordination mechanism among components. It defines a structured solution to meet all the technical and operational requirements while optimizing the common quality attributes like performance and security. Further, it involves a set of significant decisions about the organization related to software development, and each of these decisions can have a considerable impact on a quality, maintainability, performance, and the overall success of the final product. These decisions comprises of means once the software development is over, uh, they will check the quality of the software, maintainability, and how the software is performed. So, on the basis of the completion of software development, the decisions comprises of selection of structural elements and their interfaces by which the system is composed, behavior as specified in collaborations among those elements, composition of these structural and behavioral elements into large subsystems. Architectural decisions align with business objectives. Architectural styles guide the organization. The goals of architecture. This slide will be explained by the my friend Yashwant.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Yashwant Darange, roll number 25. So, goals of architecture and limitations are the main of the part of the system. Uh, in the goals of architecture, the primary goal of architecture is to identify requirements that affect the structure of applications. As the application having their requirements, so architecture is used in applications. Well-led architecture reduces the business risk associated with building a technical solution and build a bridge between business and technical requirements. So some of the other goals are here. So expose the structure of the system here, but hide its implementation and details. So realize all the use cases and scenarios, try to address the requirements of various stakeholders, and moving towards the limitations of software architecture. So what are that limitations we can see in these limitations? Software architecture is still an emerging discipline within software engineering. It has the following limitations like lack of tools and standardized ways to represent the architecture. Okay, the architecture is represented by using the tools, and here is given by. So, lack of analysis methods to predict whether architecture will result in an implementation that meets the requirements. Lack of awareness of the importance of architectural design to software development, and another one is lack of understanding of the role of software architect and poor communication among the stakeholders. Uh, Another one is the lack of understanding of the design process and design experience and evaluation of design. Another component-based software architecture is explained by my one of friend.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm going to present. I'm Ashutosh Darpel. I'm going to present component-based software architecture. So first, we will see introduction. Component-based architecture focus on the decomposition of the design into individual function or logical components that represent well-defined communication interfaces containing methods, events, and properties. It provides a higher level of abstraction and divides the problem into sub-problems, each associated with components partitions. The primary objective of component-based architecture is to ensure component reusability. A component encapsulates functionally and behaviors of software element into a reusable and self-deployed binary unit. There are many standard components frameworks such as COM and DCOM, NET, web services, and grid services. These technologies are widely used in local desktops. What is components now? A component is a modular, portable, replaceable, and reusable set of well-defined functionality that encapsulates its implementation and exporting its higher level interface. A component is a software object intended to interact with other components, encapsulating certain functionality or a set of functionalities. It has been obviously defined interface and conforms to a recommended behavior common to all components within an architecture. A software component can be defined as a unit of composition with con- contractually specified interface and explicit context defensive only. That is, a software component can be deployed independently and is subject to composition by third parties. Next slide is going to present my friend.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mrudula Dehadrai, and now I am going to explain view of component. So there are basically three different type of view of components. First one is object-oriented view. Second one is conventional view, and third one is process-related view. So there is further explanation. So first one is object-oriented view. A component is viewed as a set of one or more cooperating classes. Each problem domain classes, that is analysis and infrastructure class or design, are explained to identify all attributes and operation that apply to its implementation. It also involves defining the interfaces that enable classes to communication and cooperate. So second one is conventional view. It is viewed as a functional element or component that adding the internal data structure that are required to implement the processing logic and its interface that enables the component to be invoked and data to be processed to it. So make sure that, thank you. So third one is process related view. In this view, instead of creating each component from scratch, the system is building from existing components component maintained in a library. As the software architecture is formulated, components are selected from the library and used to popular the architecture. The user interface, that is UI component, includes grid buttons referred as control, and utility components expose a specific subject of functions used in other components. Other common type of components are those that are resources intensive, not frequently accessed, and must be achieved using the just-in-time, that is JTI approach. So further PPT going to explain by Kalyani Deshmukh.
Uh, Hello everyone. Good afternoon, sir and everyone. The characteristics of component in this reusability, replacement, non-context specific, extensible, encapsulated, and independent. So for explanation of reusability, the component are usually designed to be reused in different situations in different applications. However, some components may be designed for a specific task or replaceable component components may be freely substituted with their similar component, not not content specific. Components are designed to operate in different environments and contents. Extensible. A component can be extended from existing components to provide new behavior. Fifth, encapsulated. A component depicts the interference which allows the caller to use its functionality and do not expose details of the internal processes or any internal variables or states. 6. Independent components are designed to have minimal dependencies on their component. Next, the principles of component based design. In this, a component level design can be represented by using some intermediary representation, for example, graphical, tabular, or text based, that can be translated into source code. The design of data structure, interference, and algorithm should conform to well established guidelines to help us avoid the introduction or errors. The software system is decomposed into reusable, cohesive, and encapsulated component units. Uh, each component has its own interface that specifies required ports and provide ports. Each component hide its detailed implementation. A component should be extended without the need to make internal code or design modifications to the existing part of the component. Next, depend on abstraction component do not depends on. Next, uh, next principle, connectors connected components specifying and ruling the interaction among components. The interaction type is specified by the interference of the component. Component interaction can take the form of method invocation, asynchronous invocation, broadcasting message, driven interaction, data stream communications, and other protocol specific interaction. For a server, class specified interference should be created to serve major categories or of clients. Only those operations that are relevant to a particular category of a client should be specified in the interface. The, a component can extend to other components and still offer its own extension points. It is the concept of plug-in based architecture. This allows a plugin to offer another plugin API. The next slide will explain by my friend Pranay.
Good afternoon, sir, and everyone. I am Deshmukh Pranay, and I am going to present the advantages of component-based software architecture. First advantage is ease of deployment. A new compatible version become available. It is easier to replace existing version with no impact on the other components or the system as a whole. Means second is reduce cost. The use of third-party component allow you to spread the cost of development and maintenance. It reduces the cost of component. Ease of development. Component implemented well-known interfaces to provide the defined functionality, allowing the development without impacting other part of the system. Fourth is reusable. The use of reusable components means that they can use to spread the development and maintenance cost across the several application. Means if other application required same component, we can reuse that component for the other applications. Fifth is modification of a technical complexity. A component modify the complexity through the use of component container and its services. 6 reliability. the overall system reliability increases since the reliability of each individual component enhance the reliability of a whole system. We will reuse. Seventh, system maintenance and evaluation. Easy to change and update the implementation without affecting the rest of the system. Means we can use specific component without affecting to others. It is independent. Independency and flexible connectivity of a component. Independent development of a component by different group in a parallel. Productivity for a software development and future software development. Thank you.
Any questions on this from other students? No questions? Okay, next presentation. Who is presenting? Soham.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Is screen is visible, sir?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, you can.
My friends. My self-learning. I'm Soham Sanjay Dixit, roll number 32. Self-learning topic is designing software architecture. There are 6 architecture. 2 of them will be explained by me, and remaining will be explained by my friends. First, object-oriented software architecture. Object-oriented architecture is an important concept for developing the software. It is a design paradigm based on the division of responsibility for an application or system into individual reusable and self-sufficient objects. The popular approach of object-oriented design is to view a software system as a collection of entity known as object. Object-oriented is based on modeling real-world objects. So here are some advantages and disadvantages of this architecture. First one, it is easy to maintain. This architecture is easy to maintain. Second one, it manages the error during execution. Third one, it has ability to extend new functionality, means various new functions in this can work, and it improves traceability through encapsulation. There are some disadvantages of this architecture. Object-oriented architecture had difficulty to determine all the necessary clauses and objects required for a system. It is difficult to complete a solution within estimated time and budget, because object-oriented architecture offers new kind of project management. So the budget becomes high. This methodology is not lead to success reuse on a large scale, means if there is a large scale system, it can't be reused. The second one is client server architecture, client server software architecture. Client server architecture is a computing model in which the server host delivers and manages most of the resources and services to be consumed by the client. This type of architecture has one or more client computers connected to a center service over a network or internet connection. Client service architecture is also known as networking computing models or client server network, because all the requests and services are delivered over a network. Here are advantages and disadvantages of it. Advantages are improved data sharing. Data sharing will be in great speed. Integration of services, various integration can be performed on this. Shared resource among different platforms. data processing capacity disputes the location, and there are disadvantages of overloaded server due to vast means in big project there will be big server, so overloading of server may happen, and impact of central architecture may take place. So next architecture will be explained by my friend Vedant Devi. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all. I am Vedan Devi. Let's start with the designing of service-oriented architecture. Service-oriented architecture is a distributed software architecture. Service-oriented architecture is a client-server design which supports the business-driven approach. A service-oriented architecture defines a way to design software to provide services to other components through a communication protocol or a network. The important goal of SOA is to design services as autonomous, reusable components. It is self-contained and loosely coupled. The three basic parts of service-oriented architecture are service provider, service consumer, and service registry. SOA provides a platform and technology and language independency. Design principles of service architecture are loose coupling, service contract, third is autonomy, fourth abstraction, fifth reusability, sixth composability, seventh discoverability and statelessness. Architectural partners for the service-oriented applications are broker pattern, transaction pattern, and negotiation pattern. Technology support for SOA are web service protocol, web services, registration services, and broking and discovery services. Main application for service-oriented architecture are like e-commerce e-commerce website. Next. Next slide.
Was not audible.
Sir, 1 minute due to network problem.
Just stop it and again. Who is present? Soham is presenting. No? Soham, stop presenting and again presenting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Service-oriented architecture. Next slide.
Just go on.
So next slide.
with
Yes, Tom, what is the problem? Who was presenting Vedant? Whether the right slide is there or we need next slide. So, Tom, are you there? Okay, anyone left with the presentation? Anyone from mind? Or left with the presentation, then you can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Shubham. You are left with the presentation, share your slide. You may be having copy.
I am sharing the screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, my topic name is concurrent and real-time software architecture. First of all, what is a concurrent processing? An object may be active or passive, whereas objects are often passive. That is, they wait for another object to invoke an operations and never initiate any action. Some object-oriented method and languages, such as Ada and Java, supports active object. Active object, also referred as concurrent object, execute independently of other active objects. During concurrent software design, a concurrent software architecture is developed in which the system is structured into concurrent tasks and interfaces, and interconnection between the concurrent tasks are defined. Concurrent tasks are participate in software architectural pattern. Thus, they can participate in pattern already described, such as layered pattern and client-server pattern, in which both the client and server and services could be designed as concurrent software architecture. Then real-time system. This is a diagram of real-time system. In the real-time system, there are so many sensors like sensor 1, sensor 2, and sensor N. They are giving the input to the real-time system. Using this sensor data, output is generated and given to the actuators. There are so many actuators: actuator 1, actuator 2, actuator N. Real-time system are concurrent system with timing constraint. They have widely spread use in industrial, commercial, and military applications. The term real-time system is usually preferred as whole system, including the real-time application, real-time operating system, and the real-time I/O system, with the special purpose devices driver to interface the various sensors and actuators. There are many real-time systems that have control function. There are three types of control patterns. First is centralized control pattern, distributed control pattern, and the hierarchical control pattern. In the centralized control pattern, there are only one control component which is execute the state chart and provide overall control. In the distributed control pattern, there is a several control component. Each of these are component control the given part of the system. Thank you. Thank you.
Is anyone left to present? All of you have presented. Around 15 to 16 students are expected to present self-learning seminar. If no one is remained, it will leave. Hope all of you have marked your attendance.